Hello, in this video I'll talk to you about my notes. This one's from 128 days ago, so very short, June 19th, 2013. Daniel, put a lawnmower on her kitchen table. Now that would just irritate the spouse, but the idea came to me. I didn't put it on her kitchen table. I put two horses, plastic horses for cutting wood, in a door in the living room, and I dismantled the lawnmower. And hours later, when that thing started up again, because we didn't do anything except clean, my son and I, when that thing started up again, woo, we felt great. I felt great. We did it. But I can only imagine if I could do this. If I could, and I could if I lived alone. So that's another reason to live alone, so you can fix a lawnmower in your living room. Alright, let's go to another. It says here problems. Oh, okay, here's how to fix your problems here. These are the problems you have when you're 40, but I've had these since I was 20, or even 13, I think is when they started. Daniel, if you're sleepy, go to sleep. If you're horny, masturbate. If you can't sleep, do 2 minutes of exercise. If you're thinking about something and you don't want to stop thinking about it, then do some activities on your poster, on your vision board. Daydream, and then take some action step. You see, some people don't know what is it called when you're sexually aroused and things like that. Like the spouse this morning, she talked to me, This morning she talked to me. We don't usually talk. I talk more to some ladies, well, where I hang out at the park. Sometimes we spend half an hour talking, and that's more than I talk to the spouse in maybe 2 weeks, or maybe even 2-3 weeks. This morning the spouse said the dog has fleas, and the dog sleeps in the rocking chair, lazy boy, and every time it's scratching or something, it squeaks. So the spouse hears the dog making noise, and it wakes her up and she can't sleep. And then she also says that, look at my legs, Daniel. Look at my flea bites, is what she said, on my legs. And I told her, if you want me to look at your legs, tell me to look at your legs. All right? Don't confuse me. I'm pretending it, I should have said, if you want me to look at your beautiful legs, I will look at your beautiful legs, but don't confuse me. All right? And then she was like, she was playful, but I gotta be careful, because just as quickly she gets upset about something. She's upset about the fleas right now. She was asking me if I had a flea problem. Well, I said, no, I don't have a flea problem. I have other problems. I have her as a problem. I have her. I don't have a flea problem. I have a spouse problem. For as long, except for the first year, I've been having problems with this one. What can you do to fix your problems? The first thing you need is confidence. You can, you will, you must. Your opinion is just as valuable as someone else's opinion. By that I mean that you might say, I want to be a cook. I want to be a butcher. Don't let your parents talk you out of it. Because I wanted to be a mechanic, and not because I like cars or I don't like driving, but I saw that the mechanics I had met, they had $100 in this pocket, $100 in this pocket, but they were drinking. So my mother said, no, you're not going to be a mechanic, you're going to be a diplomat. Well, as a diplomat, the only thing I've been doing, that my mother stopped me, by the way, was asking people for money. Uh, I collected $3 because one lady gave me $2. One man, I asked for $1, he gave me $1. That's 3. And then the other one, she's pretending she forgot. She told me yesterday that, or the day before yesterday, that she asked her husband, and he said, well, she didn't say what he said, but apparently he forgot, she said. I'll get into it when I have it. I have another one about asking for money. So I stopped asking for money because my mother told me to stop. Daniel, you don't know your spouse's telephone number. You don't know my phone number. You have this look, she said, on your face, which I think it's a determination look. Walk with a purpose, walk determined. And I was asking for money to buy the human rights passport. All right. You see, I'm others motivated. I like helping people. And sometimes when you put other people first, then you put yourself for last. You see, I would take a day off to take Grandpa to the hospital, to the doctor. I would take a day off to take my mother here or there. I was always very a feminine man that is, well, I don't have anything to do. I'll just go help my mother and go help my grandpa. But sometimes they don't. The only advice my grandpa told me was, join the military. But I knew that by then, I got older. I was in my 20s, and I knew by then that they smoked cigarettes. I don't like smoking cigarettes. I don't like being around smoke. That was the main one. That was the main one. And number 2, I'm sure I was not going to get along with somebody. I knew I was not going to get along with somebody. I read books about one guy in the Navy, and he was the big, strong guy. So what someone did to him is, on a ship, they threw away his weights. So I just don't like hanging out with a group of people in the society that we live in. All right? Now, if we lived in the jungle where there is no police and order, I could live with 1,000 men. You do this to me, I do this back to you. But not a Christian method, not a Christian method at all. The Christian method is to turn the other cheek, to win them over with kindness. Gosh, being a Christian is the hardest thing in the world. I mean, how can you just take the insults? So I've met some other Christians. All they do is they keep away from everybody. Oh, okay, so that's the type of Christian you are. You don't talk to anybody. You don't. I mean, they talk about silly stuff, nothing important. They might talk about a football game or a basketball game, but they don't talk about human rights and abortion and anything that is controversial or anything that requires deep thinking or could get them fired from their job. I'll leave you with the words of Booker T. Washington. He was born a slave, and apparently he opened up a school, and he taught 3 things at this school. Number 1, intelligence. What is intelligence? After you sweep, mop the floor. After you mop, wash the mop. After you wash the mop, put it away. No one should have to tell you what to do. To have initiative, to do something. The second thing he taught was skilled hands. He doesn't go into it in his book, Character Building. Character building. What he says, what I imagine he means is carpenter, plumber, electrician. He does mention an electrician. One of his teachers of electricity, one time he asked him to put a light over here in his office. And he said, what a wonderful thing. Not only could he teach about electricity, he could actually put a light there. I mean, that's the best. Now, my grandpa was not an electrician, and he didn't teach me the skills he had, but he could put a light wherever he wanted it from his car battery. The third thing that you needed in the Booker T. Washington school was morality. Morality dealt with doing the right thing. Morality dealt with not drinking, not smoking, not doing drugs, not visiting prostitutes, not staying up at night, not being idle, which means being busy. It was the right thing to do. If you're busy, then you're not going to get into trouble. I got into trouble for not being busy enough in my own home with the 3 women there, because I wanted to read and spend time with my daughter, and I forced her. I said, come on, you got to learn how to defend yourself. Come on. She doesn't want to learn. She doesn't want to learn. She's going to get her teeth knocked out. Or her nose busted. That's the only way. And then, of course, I met one man. He was a school counselor, and he told me he got punched in the nose when he was a young man, and he was the boss. And I asked him, what did he do? I fired the guy. And I said, no, what did you do about being punched in the nose? I said, nothing. Then I said, well, have you done anything in the last 20 years to correct that? And he said, no. And by that I mean he hasn't learned not even the soft styles of Aikido, Tai Chi Chuan, not even the hard styles of karate basics, nothing. Some people just don't learn from their mistakes. Now, I'm not one to pick on someone else or judge anyone, since my life is messed up. You see, I grew up in Chicago, and over there it's so bad that you have to learn to fight or get out of town. That's the motto of the city. It should say at the airport, learn to fight or get out of town. It should say it. It should say it at every train station, but it doesn't. And I read articles, and I've spoken to a mailman that used to be a train conductor in New York, and he told me how, well, he had sex with one girl over there in the train conductor room. But I was going to talk to you about another time that he's Spanish, and there were some 2 or 3 black guys that were bothering him. And so he just took out not a regular machete, but he had like an axe. The guy called it a cleaver, but he said, I didn't take it out until I opened the doors. The train stopped, right? The train stopped. He stopped the train. He stopped the train. He opened the doors. And then when they were coming towards him, he took out his cleaver. He was ready to smash him. But the 3 guys ran away. He's got a cleaver. He's got a cleaver. Let's go. But the thing is, that's illegal in today's society. They could easily go report him and say 3 against 1 that he did something wrong. And he would have to get rid of the cleaver. The society's messed up. The best defense is Mr. Miyagi's. When you see a problem, get out of there. When the punch comes, when the police comes, get out of there. Don't even be near it. Booker T. Washington says, be prepared. But, oh man. What can you do in a society where you're not really able to defend yourself because of the legal issues, not because of you don't have the skill to defend yourself? All right, please go read the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and read about Gary Davis' story. He's got a video, 5-6 minutes. He's got a bunch of videos, but enjoy. All right, go help out some refugees. You'll be helping out people in other parts of the world, but you'll also be helping out yourself.